Hi, writers. Today in writing, we're going to write the ending of our fiction stories. We talked about how fiction stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And you already wrote the beginning, where you talk about the characters and the setting. And you wrote the middle, where you talk about a problem, because we know that fiction stories have problems and solutions. Remember, the way that you came up with the problem was to think about a problem that you had in your life or someone that you know had. So even though these are fiction stories from our imaginations, we can use our own life to help us write them. So fiction stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end, like we talked about. Today we're going to write the ending. Fiction stories have a problem and a solution. So you already wrote the problem, right? That was your middle, the problem that your character had. Today, in your ending, you are going to write a solution for your character. And just like you thought about a real problem from your life to write the middle, you are going to think about a real solution from your life to write the ending. So, a good ending in a fiction story solves the character's problem and it also tells a feeling. So the character solves their problem. That's how the story ends. And then you tell a little bit about how the character's feeling. So take a look at my ending. See if I can move this up so you can see the whole thing. Let me read it to you. And then I want you to think about what the solution was. So remember in the middle, Danny was really hot. He was sweating and he wanted to go in the ocean, but he was afraid. The waves were so big. So my ending says, Danny's mom went in the water and started splashing around. When Danny saw how much fun she was having, he jumped in after her. Danny wasn't scared anymore. He felt proud. So do you see how I did that? I solved the problem for my character and I wrote a feeling. I wrote a feeling sentence. The way I came up with that solution is I thought about the problem that happened in my real life, right? If you remember, the problem was that one day I went to the beach with Owen and he was so afraid to go in the water. The waves were coming and I could tell he really wanted to go in, but he was scared. And I kept saying, go ahead, go in. But he wouldn't. So I thought that if I went in and showed him that it wasn't scary, it was fun, he would follow me. And he did. So we figured out a way to solve the problem. And I used that from my real life to write an ending for my fiction story. So I wrote the problem that Danny was afraid because the waves were too big. And then the way they solved the problem was that Danny's mom went in first and Danny wasn't scared anymore. So today, boys and girls, that's what you're going to do. You're going to write an ending for your fiction story. When you're doing it, I want you to think about how the character can solve the problem, and you could use the real problem from your real life, and then how your character felt at the end of the story. And if you have those two things in your ending, you are going to have a good ending. All right, boys and girls, after you're finished, keep them in a safe place because we have one more thing to add to our fiction stories tomorrow. See you next time.